Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Roll call in advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the size, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Joggle beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. CYHPER, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin crypto ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We have a nice, fun round of Cypher Stryker with the guys from FOXXI. They're building something really special here, and we have the opportunity to show it each and every Tuesday. So if you guys are not playing with us, get in here. It's cypherstryker.co. You just load up your Bitcoin wallet. I think you can load up many different wallets as well. So just check it out. Hop over here, play with us. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be absolutely insane. So get in here. 41 minutes left. Let's kind of get this thing started. Bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Iago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up,
man? You ready for this game? I know we were talking about it earlier, and we both suck. And we're going to be leading the charge today. No Aaron, but I think we got this.
I think so. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my computer performance right now just decided to like take a dump right when we don't have Aaron, so that's kind of frustrating. But is that your screen there?
Yeah, I got this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to get everything, shut down all the extra stuff. My computer is a gaming computer too, so I don't know what's going on here, but
I see you. Just look at you. What are you dancing? Oh, we got moves.
That would be actually really cool. Yeah. It looks like
moves, bro.
It does look like I'm dancing though.
Somebody yeah, let's go. We do have some special guests today. We got Wade. Is Wade coming up? Right?
Yeah, Wade's gonna come up, and so is Sir Melv.
Let's bring those guys up. What's up, FOXXI team? What is going on? What's up, Iguana? What's up, everybody? Welcome to OnChain Revolution.
Yo.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Doing well. I'm trying to get my computer going here, but yeah, we got Shizzy's sharing the screen so we can see him get killed instead of me. But yeah, how's everybody from the team doing? It's been a minute since we've had Wade on. Let's start there. Wade, how's everything going with the development of Cypher Stryker after the rebrand? And there's a lot of stuff that you guys got going on, but how's everything going with the development of Cypher Stryker? Let's start there.
Everything is going really well. So we will be updating next week the new version of Cypher Stryker. Uh, users can go and collect the gems, like daily login rewards. Everything is going to be there.
Awesome. So more
Yeah.
basically you guys are giving another kind of way for the users and players to interact with the game, right? To be
Yeah,
able to add those, collect those. What are they? Gems? You said?
yeah, gems.
Gotcha.
And also experience points. Like based on the kills, you will get experience points too.
Gotcha. Well, I might actually have to be the MC because I'm telling you, my processor or something is definitely lagging, and it looks like I'm lagging as well on the thing. So I'll kind of MC this a little bit, but
man.
yeah, that's awesome. In terms of Cypher Stryker itself, what's the main goal? Do you feel like for this game? Because it's obviously you guys have created a first-person shooter, which is always fun. You've created in this clan versus clan type environment, which can be really fun as well because you can have projects with communities kind of go up against each other. But what do you feel like in terms of like FOXXI's overall long-term goal with Cypher Stryker? What does that look like?
It's going to be the merge with the Bitverse, the metaverse world. Right now, as you can see, 8,702. That's the bitmap Cypher Stryker is on now. So it will spread to the other worlds.
Okay, so the bitmap 87, I think it was like 87,200 something.
8702, yeah.
8702. Okay. Wow, four-digit bitmap. Those are actually kind of go for a decent amount, I think, right now. But are you guys planning to continue this like bitmap theme to where you're allowing other bitmappers to incorporate their bitmap and eventually in the longer term vision, could somebody possibly have their bitmap and their custom world to play Cypher Stryker on?
Yeah, it's like, the integration with the Bitverse. Bitverse is the metaverse that we've been building for a while now. Once it's live, you can merge your bitmaps and play games. It's like that. There's going to be a connection. I can't reveal everything now.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, like I mentioned, you guys have a lot of stuff that you're building with the Bitverse, Cypher Stryker, and I know that you guys have recently teamed up with, I believe Bitcoin Derby as well. So we have Higuana on with us as well. That is from that team. Higuana, we had you on last week, which was really, really fun. Could you maybe give us an update on what's going on with Bitcoin Derby?
And I'm becoming so much more fluid at playing this game and talking to you guys. Whoa. What was that?
I think you're on my team there.
Come on, man. Go away. Give me a break. Just getting used to these controls. It's so hard. How'd you guys do it? How'd you guys manage to talk and
Well, we die a lot.
Yeah,
that's kind of the key.
Exactly. We die a lot.
The key is to ask questions and not talk too much. That's the nothing too much. Oh, I got a kill.
There you go.
Yeah, man. So I think you guys have seen me now for 3 weeks in a row. Oh, yeah. You guys have seen me now for 3 weeks in a row, and I'm just really enjoying being here and sharing this this evolution of Bitcoin Derby and FOXXI together. There are so many synergies in what we are building, right? So we're both fans of AI. We're both fans of gaming. But there was one key element that I think we both bring to each other, which is this ability to allow the user, whether you are owner of Bitmap, whether you are just someone with a really good idea for a game, we are here to allow you guys to be part of this, because some things that we have seen now, we have been seeing for years now, is this ability to go and you can make your own game, or you can launch your own NFT collection and this and that. So basically, what I would call user generated content. But the problem with that is, how do you commercialize it? How do you market it? how do you make it a successful token launch? And most importantly, how do you connect with your community? So you need a team that is capable of doing all that, capable of allowing you to create your stuff, whether it's an idea with your bitmap or something else, and then to play these different experiences and allow other people to play your experiences. So you need a platform to launch it, and then connect, right? Which is this idea of, all right, so now I have a game. I know that people can play my game. How do I connect with them? How do I let them use my game?
Yeah.
And meeting both Aaron and Audie and Wade, it was for me fundamental to bring all the pieces of this puzzle together. And now that's what we're doing over the next few days. I know we've been saying this for a little while right now, but a few things happened that made us very excited, and we are adjusting the message for everybody to understand what we're bringing to you guys. So we needed a little bit more time to draft this message, to draft what we are, because we are something completely new. And when you're building something new, you need to make sure that you label it properly. Otherwise, it can be misunderstood. And when something is misunderstood, there's nothing worse for a project than being misunderstood.
Absolutely. The way that things are communicated are very important, especially if, there's not like a consistent messaging channel and everything. Obviously,
Exactly.
everybody has their X and stuff, and we've known you and FOXXI for a very long time, so you guys obviously know that you guys can jump on the show and kind of have that platform. But you're absolutely right in terms of how you message the product, and also what you're trying to build is very, very important.
100%.
And I think that, like, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like I said, we've known you both separate entities for a while, and the fact that you guys are collaborating now, where maybe there was a little bit of weakness on one side, the other side fills, and vice versa, right? So now you guys are kind of like the solid team.
Exactly.
Let's talk about gaming real quick in Web3, because we talked about this, we hit on it last week. One thing is, it's been really tough to break through, right? In terms of, we got Aaron possibly joining us here. Let me bring him up. Aaron,
Yeah,
what's
he's
up?
joined.
Yeah, we'll let him get his mic fixed there, though. Aaron is one of the co-founders of FOXXI AI. But back to you, Higuana. One of the hard things has been to break through on Web3 for the gaming industry, and some people have the opinion that it has to come from like a gaming company that started off with gaming. I'm in the camp where it could, but there's a lot of talent here, and gaming doesn't know our industry like the OGs and grassroots that know here. So maybe there's gonna be some collaboration. What's your opinion on that?
Man, I have an opinion that might be a little bit controversial, actually.
Hey, we love controversy on this channel.
I think the change is going to come when a good businessman comes to this world and does proper business in Web3. I think back in 2021, 2022, there were a ton of games being launched, and these games had an opportunity to raise a lot. And whether it is by malice or by lack of knowledge of how to run a large business or a well-funded business, people sort of lost or made VCs lose the confidence on what they are doing. The result is people that are genuinely building games, building good experiences, are hurt, because now 2 years, 3 years later, there is a lot of skepticism that we are actually building genuine gaming experiences for the masses here. So I think when someone comes and can prove the opposite, this is going to really work. Take this for example, right? One of the most challenging things when you do a game, in fact, when you do any project in crypto, is that you're going to launch a token. How are you going to commercialize your token? How are you going to make sure that people find it, the right metrics, that you're marketing it right, that there's the liquidity for people to actually buy this token? It's a really hard task. So you often have a lot of people that make amazing games or amazing experiences, and when you get to the most crucial point, which is to market your game and to put your token out there so people can, have the full DeFi experience, you don't know how. You kind of get stuck at that point. So what happens is you often rely on maybe tools that someone else built and say, hey, use these tools and you're going to reach 300,000, 1 million, 500 million users. You're not. The truth is that the world moves in a certain way. And for you to get large numbers on your project, you still have to do the old school stuff. Like you got to have a list of 3,000 people that you're going to be calling over the next 10, 15, 30 days. You still have to convince people that you have, a face, a name, a business entity in the right places. All that, if that's not there, funding is not going to come. The backing of high profile people that will give the validity, credibility that your project needs. They're not going to be there because they're going to be scared that you're going to rug the community and nothing's going to take off. So I do genuinely think that there are already some phenomenal game makers where we are. Phenomenal. Man, look at Off the Grid. Look at this. Look at this thing we're playing right now. And it's not a matter of making of professional game makers. What they are here is professional businessmen, in my opinion.
I actually agree with you completely. That's one of the points that I always hammer down with crypto is there's such a lack of business sense with a lot of these founders, a lot of these creators. And last cycle did not help at all in terms of that aspect. If you think about the last cycle, it wasn't just crypto, though. It was like a lot of asset classes, tangible assets, whether that's collectibles or whatever. There was a lot of speculation because of trying to get out of a bad economic situation from COVID, right? So governments were printing so much money. There was just excess surplus of capital available to throw at everything. And that's like the worst case scenario for crypto because it was like the biggest speculative, asset class in industry. And so you have all these builders that have it basically, the way I look at it was crypto was a land of great ideas. But you can't build if you only have great ideas. You have to have substance, you have to have planning, all those things which were lacked last cycle. And I think we're learning through tough, the school of hard knocks this cycle that okay, you can't just get by on that. You got to have a plan, you got to have some business sense, you got to have a go to market plan on how you're going to make the masses adopt, right? So like an example would be like, does your platform have mobile access? That should be one of the main features. And I know FOXXI is definitely focused on mobile as well. And so I'm not sure. Did I make sense there, or what do you think?
You made absolute sense. If not wanting to steal the mic again, but you made absolute sense. Little expressions like go to market. They are so important, and we often are just worried about numbers, or we're worried about, do I have the right KOL supporting my project? I think this is where we end up getting stuck in 2021, expecting someone to come and just pour money into us, and I don't think it's responsible. I'm still actually amazed that people that are undoxed can raise 10 million plus. I don't understand it. It does not make sense in my mind.
Yeah.
So, just those little things that really make a difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting harder, though. I will say that, like, to stay undoxed and raise. I know that's still possible, but it's getting harder, I think, and it will continually get harder as we get more, rules or like regulations and stuff like that. But yeah. So, Aaron, are you there?
Hey guys, I'm here. A little bit of noise in my background. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Are you taking a hot bath right now? Is that why? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I was just messing with you. Yeah, we're having fun. I'm not able to play. I'm not able to play right now because my machine is kind of just not performing well right now. But anyhow, Shizzy's definitely doing better than last week. It looks like
I'm getting my ass kicked, bro.
Nemesis
is like a beast.
I'm watching you. You're actually doing really good.
No, I'm doing terrible, bro.
But yeah, Aaron, I'm curious if you had any input maybe of what we were talking about, like how the space is really needing more, kind of business experience and sense behind it of approach to have more success for projects, or like what's your
Yeah,
perspective on that?
I was listening a little bit of that. I couldn't agree more with Iguana, and that's actually one of the biggest reasons why we're so happy to have Iguana on board with us, man, to help us out on that exactly on that aspect, because we're good at building things, right? And there's a lot of developers that are really great at making some cool products, but maybe they need help, making that business plan, and that's one of the things that Iguana is a professional at doing, right? So I couldn't agree more with them. There's a lot of creative people making a lot of amazing things, and there's really no eyes on those things, right? On what they're making. Could be because the market was really down. While it's down, people are just building and things like that as well. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I couldn't agree more, man.
Yep. It's kind of how we view it, and we get, we're blessed enough to be able to kind of get the insights as a, OnChain Revolution live stream podcast and interview a lot of builders over the past couple years, and I will say the ones that do have these type of plans, whether that's to raise, because runway is so important, and then you talk about burn rate, and which we're starting to hear more and more of the projects that actually last through the hard times, is they're focused on burn rate. They're focused on the things that, in my opinion, should be focused on. But it's exciting times, I think, that's coming up in the space, especially with the Bitcoin ecosystem recently, with the Bitcoin Core kind of acknowledging that they acknowledge the value of builders in our space. So excited for all you guys, especially with Bitcoin Derby. We haven't really got a chance to jump into that.
Real quick though, I have this question for Wade. Being like a developer, and does that limit being gone now from the what is it, from the
Op return?
Does that benefit FOXXI at all? Will you guys be doing anything in that area? Wait,
So can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So recently, Bitcoin Core is going to be taking the limit out of the op return. So basically, runes are now able to do a lot more in that area, because that's where the runes live. My question for you is kind of in the sense of, will that benefit FOXXI at all? Are you guys planning to do anything with runes or in that op return area?
Yeah, actually, we want to expand to all the chains, even to EVM. That's what we are planning now.
Yeah, and I think where it could really benefit FOXXI is like, okay, if they have like a multi-chain approach, interoperable like token to where you can bridge one to one, possibly having a rune, like a FOXXI rune. I'm not saying that that's their plan, but if that happened, now you feel a little bit more comfortable with doing that, because runes has more flexibility. I think the biggest thing is, what is Casey and Raf going to do with that? Would you guys consider doing something like that in the future, if you do even have a token, having a bridged kind of a token that's kind of interoperable through different chains? Or would you rather?
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's the holy grail of a token, right? A token that can be used in multiple chains and without a lot of hassle, and how do you move assets from here to there and so on. It's a bit how do you guys, one question that I would ask back on that specific question is, how do you feel about the fact that you have a few people that are so powerful in the decision making of what's happening with Bitcoin Core?
Well, go ahead. You go first, Izzy.
So the Bitcoin Core and the Bitcoin Maxis have become everything that they hate about TradFi, in my opinion, right? I think Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Maxi are the same people. Yagobi kind of disagrees. He thinks they're two different people. But to me, Bitcoin Core and the Bitcoin Maxis have become everything they hate. They're just not okay with change, right? And that is exactly why they hate it. The TradFi and those guys and the bankers, right? They've become everything that they hate. And it is crazy to see that happening in real time.
Crazy.
And in my opinion, it's time to innovate. Bitcoin is all about innovation. Bitcoin is the innovation. And if we're not doing things on Bitcoin, then what's the point? I mean, Bitcoin is 65% of all crypto. Bitcoin dominates 65%, which basically means that Bitcoin is 65% of the entire market. So we need to be doing things where the liquidity is, because there isn't much liquidity coming in. And the Bitcoin maxis get in the way of that, or Bitcoin Core gets in the way with that, then we need change. And I think, it's very political. And eventually, we will get that. We will get like a politic, somebody's going to step in from our side and potentially win.
Yeah. So just to follow up with that, so I think it used to be more what Shizzy just explained. It used to be a lot more aligned between like these OG Bitcoiners that are probably filthy rich, like the Samson Maos, which are against, the op return limits being lifted, versus Bitcoin Core devs right now. There's actually, the war is actually happening surprisingly between Bitcoin Core and these OGs, and us degens are kind of on the sidelines watching right now. So it's actually really funny because you have the pull request for this from a Bitcoin Core dev, Peter Todd, and it seems to be going through. And so there's this kind of war that's happening between Bitcoin Core and the OG maxis, as I mentioned. And now it's kind of like, okay, Core is starting to look at the builders like you guys and some other, some infrastructure builders as well, and seeing the value there. And I think that, whatever their argument is, right, this is going to help people that build in the op return area, right? Whether that's BitVM, Citria that uses BitVM, and that's builders that are trying to scale Bitcoin. Right. So to me, I feel like there's a slow changing of the guard. Maybe some traditional Bitcoiners or Bitcoin Core devs are starting to see the opportunity. But remember, Peter Todd was also the one that pushed through RGB, right? Yeah, that was his thing. The replacement fee to jump in line. Yeah. That was Peter Todd's as well. So I think that the power of those OGs, they're starting to lose it.
So I disagree with that a little bit. I don't think they're doing this to help builders. They're doing this because they're all type 1s and they don't want to see a whole bunch of fluff in the mempool.
Well, why are they having internal conflict though?
They're having internal conflict because there's some core devs that are just so anti everything, and the maxis are just anti any little bit of change. And the core devs are like, hey, we're not doing this for them. We're doing this to clean up Bitcoin. So that they're not doing this to help us. They're not doing this to help Citria. They're doing this to kind of make it easier for themselves, because they're all like these type 1 people who just don't want to see a mess of transactions.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm not in those
doing this.
I'm not in those conversations. I'm not in those conversations. But I would just say that, like, is it happen chance that Citria, it would make it more convenient for how much data?
It makes it a lot messier if they don't. They're going to do it either way.
They're going to do it either way. I agree with that.
So Peter Todd's, it's like they're going to do it either way. Let's give them the space to do it, like, so we don't have to deal with the mess, because they're all type 1 douchebags.
And maybe it's,
they are.
Maybe at this point it's like a power move. It's like, who has, like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
It ends up helping us. But Higuana, I'm curious about your opinion. How do you feel about how the politics are within Bitcoin?
Man, I feel it's a shame. Bitcoin is highly underutilized. It's, to me, something that I have been saying again and again is the strongest of all crypto brands. And then here we have an opportunity to use it for, more than a store of value. And we have all these shenanigans stopping people from doing this and that. And it sometimes puts people off, It's crazy because I think I mentioned this in the last time I came here. I've been really lucky to hang out with a whole bunch of startups that have been now well-funded and are all building on Bitcoin, which means that all these startups that have been funded by VCs that believe in our ecosystem. So now, as a businessman in this world, I am thinking, what are the possible put-offs? What are the things that can make us or deter us from actually scaling up. And this is the type of stuff. So I keep on the sidelines, but with my eyes wide open, trying to understand what's going on, because we have an opportunity to make this something incredible. But if we keep centralizing things and not allowing things to be what they can really be, then you might end up smothering an opportunity of a lifetime. Because I don't know um, how many more, let's say, cycles of investments and real sort of wild west environment when anyone, a guy like me that I came from a third world country. I battled my way up to getting the knowledge and the language skills to build something like this, and then suddenly we have an opportunity to make something amazing, something historical, something has never been done before, and then you get stopped by politics. That would be an absolute shame. Absolute shame.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that you do need to be careful just to make sure that there's no threat to Bitcoin, right? But it's kind of like, okay, Bitcoin has changed over time, right? So if you zoom out with Bitcoin's price, it's always up only, right? Let's say you do like a 16-year zoom out on a yearly chart for Bitcoin. You'll see it's an up only chart. And I feel like with innovation on Bitcoin, if you zoom out, you'll see over time there's changes that will happen, whether it takes 4 years, 6 years, however long it's happened, right? SegWit was added in 2017. Taproot addresses activated in 2021. These type of things allowed for ordinals to happen. If those weren't added, then ordinals wouldn't exist because there'd be no ability for that, right? So it's kind of like you have this old group of people. They're not all old, by the way, but old-minded that don't, like Shizzy said, he made a great point. They don't like change at all. But what it actually reminds me of? And I hate to say this because it actually reminds me of actual politics. Because if you go back to conservatives and Republicans, like in the start from like the 60s, 70s or whatever, like the Democrats kind of pick up the line and they're like, okay, look, we're not going to move it way over there, but we're going to move it a little bit over here. And that's exactly kind of how Bitcoin has changed, right?
Yeah.
So,
and Bitcoin will get more and more political because people want to control the greatest things in the world, right? All the greatest things in the world are always controlled. The gold is controlled by the wealthy, right? It's controlled by China. It's controlled by the people that really they can move the price whenever they want, and you're kind of seeing that constantly, especially with gold. If they want to take it up, they'll take it up. When they take it down, they'll take it down. So it's one of the most highly manipulated assets in the world, and the same people that control gold are going to want to control Bitcoin. So you're going to see even more political coming in.
But even with gold, if you got in early, right, and you zoom out, kind of, it's an up only asset as well. It slows down with its up only, but it's still, and that's what I think would happen with Bitcoin too.
Well, it's a very sideways asset. From 1992 to like 2004 or 2008, it was like the most sideways asset up until when shit went crazy in 2008. Like it was completely sideways for about 10, 15 years.
I know that like once the gold got its ETF, it started to really, get hyper aggressive.
Yeah, I think I got it in like 2004, but like it really didn't become an asset like people really kind of put a lot of money in until the U.S. crash. I'm actually curious to see what a chart like that looks like. I'm pretty sure from like 92 to like 2008, it was like, or 2007, it was like one of the assets that like barely moved at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gold chart right now. Here, no, I'll just tell you what it looked like. So, obviously, gold was popular during those early World War days and all that stuff too. But you're right, it was it was very extremely volatile, and it had a lot of sideways until the 70s, and that's whenever it shot up and then pulled back down, and then you get like a really huge spike up in like,
well, I think it was 71 or 72 is when they pulled the dollar off the gold standard, so gold got really rare because you weren't allowed to trade it in the US. I think it was 72 or 73.
But And then you're talking about with a digital asset like Bitcoin that has a max supply of 21 million though. So it's a totally different ball game, right? With a possibility of hyper Bitcoinization is what they call it, right? Which, by the way, Higuana, are you in the same camp as Shizzy, thinking 700,000 by when?
May of 20. It'll be selling May
26?
go away next year. May of 2026.
What do you think?
I don't know, man. I'm more positive about this year than next year. I think this year we probably double it, but that's as far as I will go. 200,000 end of 2025. That's my
The rookie
That's my
numbers,
bet.
bro. Bring your numbers up. Rookie numbers. No.
I'm so conservative, man, when it comes to numbers. But I don't know. It's possible. Definitely possible. I mean, think about all these national reserves being created, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we hold it, people hold it for sure. I'm also very bullish on the old market.
So
Really bullish.
when does that actually start to turn on though? Because it's been on pause for a while.
I'd say 4 weeks after Bitcoin reaches 200,000.
4 weeks
my
after
bet.
Bitcoin. 4 weeks after Bitcoin reaches 200,000. So
Yeah,
then,
that's
then I would say
A long time.
well, then Bitcoin better reach 200,000 in maybe October, because then that will give us a Q4 kind of pop off the top of
Wouldn't that be
2025.
something? Wouldn't that be
Kind of lead
something?
into the ETFs too, right? Because ETFs are set to go live in October. With
There we go. All the little pieces of the puzzle converging at the right time. See? Telling you.
Mark is saying Aaron is kicking my butt. I think that's Mark in you. And let's see. Warthog Thunderbolt got kicked out like 4 times. So
really, it must be your system, because I haven't got kicked out once. I mean, I'm just playing this whole time.
Yeah. Was there any restrictions already for people to play? It should have been like open, right?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. So it's probably your system there, Warthog.
Mark says 250 end of the year. I think that's conservative, Mark. Oh no.
Well, I mean, like for me, Higuana, I don't know for you, but like the reason why I go conservative with these price predictions is because of previous cycles. Like I remember in like 2017, like they were talking crazy. Like at that point, they were talking about like 150, 200,000, and we were just barely like about to approach 20. And then the last cycle was 1 million. You had people topping out at 1 million. And so when I hear something that's really like the top prediction, which by the way, 700K isn't, I think you have Kathy Wood predicting over 1 million and a couple other people, but I'm more conservative as well because of that.
I'm just going by Plan B, stock to flow, right? Stock to flow is gold. It's the gold chart from the ETF era, right? So to me, I think it's just following exactly what kind of all of the new assets do, right? The stock to flow chart has been accurate up to this point. People can argue and say, hey, he called 100K and it was 69. Still pretty goddamn close. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm sorry. He was like, 20% off. But let's just say he's wrong this time and we're 20% off from this time. And he's calling 700K. I'm okay with 500K. I'm okay with being wrong by 100K. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, it's just been one of the most accurate charts in history. And that's
So he was off by 30%.
Yeah.
If that was a similar case, then 490. So you're hitting right at 500. I think we all would. Oh, what's up?
What if it? Oh, Kimmy boy, what's
up, bud? Hello. Oh, I'm online. Hi.
he sounds like a dad during COVID when they would get on the computer for the first time.
It's crazy when you're putting 2 little boys to sleep. In my head still. Yeah.
I'm curious. How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Last couple of weeks. I don't know, full steam ahead.
You've been busy. I'm curious of what you think. I don't know if you were able to dive into it, with the whole op return limit removal and Bitcoin Core. Do you see that as a positive or negative, or did you not have a chance to really dive into that at all?
I didn't dive in, and I'm afraid of it.
You're
Yeah.
afraid. You're
Uh,
afraid of the change, or you're afraid to dive in?
Yeah. Afraid of the change because I don't know. I don't know anything. What will bring? What can go wrong, and what can happen?
well,
You
the only
know.
thing that can really go wrong is spam, right? That's just spamming the chain and just like a
Slowing
DDoS
the
type
mempool.
attack. Yeah, just kind of flowing it in. But at the end of the day, the miners get paid off that, right? The
They
miners
don't
will make
care.
buckets of money. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
my transaction might take extra long to get through. Let's just say 40, 30 minutes through 2-3 blocks. I'm okay with that. Like when I do a transaction on Bitcoin, I walk away anyway. So for me, I really don't see any problem.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's also another interesting debate, because some of the dialogue back and forth on Twitter was like, the miners don't have the power they think they do. The node runners do. And I'm just kind of like, what is a node runner giving up to run a node? Right? It's just their CPU, like within their computer, like, right? They're not actually paying more electricity. They're not
No,
doing it, and all these things. They're
there's no
running
skin in
in,
the game. Yeah.
except for the fact that they're running
Skin in
it,
the game.
right? And then so it's like one of the nodes of the network for data availability. But I thought that was kind of pretentious and narcissistic for those old maxis to say that, because I'm just like, like the miners are still the ones that are paying electricity, but I don't know.
Yeah, but so my understanding, a node and a miner, the only difference between the two is a node doesn't give hash power. It doesn't feed the network, right? They're not trying to win the block. So like it's all it is. So I mean, you're basically a powerless miner, like at that point. So I don't understand how they have power at all. I mean, they can't even vote, right? They can't even vote with the hash power because they have no hash power to vote with.
Well, their power comes into if they all get together and use different software, right? And then they can try to censor transactions, right? So if they censor, ordinals or whatever, but that's just not going to happen because it's incentivized for these transactions to go through. You know what I mean?
Well,
And plus the community of people that do these things, whether it's inscriptions, builders, they're starting to become bigger and bigger, a lot bigger in numbers than these old maxi heads.
Yeah. Well, I just don't understand because like the miners decide everything, right? Then the nodes guys, when a miner wins the block, they decide what goes in that block because they get paid from that block. If they want to take nothing in that block, kind of what Ocean Mining was doing, they can do that, but then they lose all those fees, right? So it's just like the miners control the blocks, not the nodes, the node runners. I don't get that.
Yeah, but their thing is the miners will accept, like, basically right here. Mark says this: miners run BTC. It will come down to what they get paid and what's best for them, right?
Exactly.
But like, so they can include all the transactions they want. But if there's enough node runners that like run like, I don't know, like let's say 90%, 95% switched over to like Bitcoin knots, which is never going to happen. And then they decide to censor those transactions, then the ordinal enjoyers or whatever they're censoring won't be able to see it.
See, I don't think that's how it works because the miners control that. The node runners they can change their program all they want, but it really depends what the miners run. The miners are the ones that control what goes in every block. The blocks
Consensus has to be, set. That's the main premise of mining. there need to be a consensus about everybody.
Yeah. So there are miners that are running Bitcoin knots, though. That's what they're saying. Is they're like, okay, let's run this. Let's do this.
It's the same ones that are blocking transactions. It's Ocean Mining. It's not like Riot or any of the bigger ones.
So theoretically, if they were able to convince, then they would be able to do it, right? They'd be able to.
But then you gotta say, hey, don't take that free money that's sitting there. Don't take it.
Which that's the argument on crypto Twitter right now, is like you have these people like, saying you guys are telling people to node runners to change their software to Bitcoin knots, and it's not working. Like it's not, you guys aren't even able to censor anything. So, Bitmap Emporium won.
I'm curious how I did.
I have a feeling that like Bitmap Emporium has won the last like 20 rounds. Who's in that?
Yeah. Every time.
Not me.
It's Aaron's in there probably. I got 11 kills, 45 deaths, so I did horrible. But I got 93 coins. Woo, 93 coins.
Great.
Oh, look at Glasshopper. He says that was me and Grump. So two-man team beat all y'all.
Ooh.
Look at that. And Glasshopper intentionally didn't join Ordinal Revolution this time because he said he's going after Shizzy. So
he killed me like 40 times.
So out of the 45 kills, he probably got like 90% of those.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's the MVP.
But in my defense, I was in a heated debate about Bitcoin Core. No, I'm just kidding. I need an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
So that's the main thing you watch on Bitcoin about that up return and
about what?
About that, what you said, up return, and that's the most interesting thing happening now, right? Because I didn't dive in what's happening. I just follow.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So this change with op return is supposed to help runes because now you're able to do more things within one transaction regarding runes because runes uses op return. So like the data storage limit of 80 bytes is now on the next update supposedly is going to be lifted. I mean, runes needs all the help it can get, right? Like in terms of like there's like some marketing that's working and all that stuff, but but Shizzy, how was your experience today with Cypher Stryker?
Dude, phenomenal. I mean, I feel like I've gotten better each time. It's actually really, really amazing. I don't know. I really enjoy the game. I've been diving in as the Bitcoin bull market has been sideways. I've been diving more and more into gaming, and I don't know. I'm definitely having a good time every Tuesday so far.
Yeah, it's definitely. I wish I could have played today. My computer was definitely acting up, but I'll be back on the sticks next Tuesday for sure. Kimmy, real quick, we'll all go to Higuana in a second and kind of sign out here because we're almost up on this hour. But just real quick, Kimmy, since you host spaces, you are really connected with a lot of these projects and stuff. What's your feeling with sentiment? Do you feel like people are back, or they're slowly starting to come back? What are you feeling?
I'm thinking we are in phase when we are having spaces. There is core community or ordinals here, no matter what. But yeah, I see new people coming in again. But I hope it's not that cat bounce. I think it will be good. I'm bullish on ordinals as always. I don't know. I think it's inevitable. When we first spoke, I told you I was minting NFTs for 2 years, and then I said, there's nothing will ever happen with this. And 1.5 years later, we have NFTs selling for $500,000. So
yeah, it's true.
And I think ordinals are in better place than NFTs was back in 2018 because people understand what is happening and can easily explain to newcomers. But when NFTs was born, they were something new and nobody knew what is going on and why would anybody buy a picture for, I don't know, few $100 or few thousand. So, and
I mean, yeah.
I mean, just right when we thought NFTs were really dead, 2023 happened, and ordinals, like, some of these ordinals, I think Node Monks got to like 50K USD, right? I mean, it's not that now, but everything has pulled back, and so I think that the NFT market will have its time again. I think it's going to be intertwined with gaming and Web3, but it has to be in a more risk-on environment, and eventually it will start to be more consistent. But appreciate that, Kimmy. Higuana, any last words from you, sir, about anything we talked about today, or Derby, or anything to look out for?
Man, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on AI. I'm bullish on gaming. I'm definitely bullish on ordinals, and I'm really bullish also on Bitcoin DeFi. I think
Let's go.
everybody has got their guns locked and loaded, waiting for the right time for us all to enjoy, what good technology has been brought into this ecosystem we live in. I also believe that the ones that have been building throughout all this time, they got something special. It's not just about what they do; it's about the personality. They're here for the long term. There's a very important saying in my world, which is, you gotta be the cockroach, and the cockroach always finds the way. What that means is, those that keep building, keep doing, keep working, eventually they find it. That time comes, because it's inevitable. That's just how it goes. So
Yeah.
I think everybody here will be in a really good space, because I know everybody here is working really hard.
Yeah.
Apart from that, Bitcoin Derby, I've been building this AI horse racing game. It's something that we launch a little bit every other week, a little bit more significant every month. And we still don't have the game completely out. It's more like small experiences. And as soon as we have something a bit more significant, I'm hoping we can have one of those sessions just playing with the horses. But otherwise, thanks for having me once again. It's been a pleasure. And I'm hoping that we can see each other again soon, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. And yes, we will definitely do a live stream for Bitcoin Derby once it's ready. And you're right about the cockroach. That's the only living thing that can survive a nuclear bomb. So
Hey.
if you are strong enough to survive like a cockroach, then you can make it in this space. That's for sure. And then Wade, any last words about Bitverse, Cypher Stryker, anything coming up from you guys? Any final words from you?
So you guys will be playing the latest version from the next match onwards, next Tuesday.
Oh, update, guys! Update. I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, appreciate that. And then I don't know if Aaron's down there, if he's done with his bath, but did you want to sign us out here?
All right, so just a few things. I was never taking a bath, just to be clear.
Never.
Grump and Grasshopper, get ready for next week, man. I'm gonna kick you guys' butt.
Hey.
I came on late because I had some people actually clean my sofas today. And I totally agree with Iguana. I'm very glad that he's bullish on all those things, because he just literally described what FOXXI is. So again, man, thanks for everyone that is listening and supporting us, and continue being bullish on FOXXI. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. And I got to give Sir Melvs a shot here. He's the last one here. I don't know if you want to say any last words. We got 173 people watching, so let's see. We'll give you a countdown. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, I think he's good. No, I'm just kidding. But we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Shout out to the FOXXI team, Sir Melvs, Wade, Aaron, Higuana with Bitcoin Derby, and FOXXI, and of course our guy Kimmy. And we will see all you guys next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Anything else, Shizzy?
That's it, man. Just remember, guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. And on that note, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye.
OnChain Revolution, roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go, Bitcoin control me. Why you still coping? Price action rolling, don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now, OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back, they don't want you to know. How do the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.